Hey guys, how are you doing today? Thank you for watching and subscribing, liking, sharing, whatever you did. I haven't even got to see everybody that's on our channel yet. But thank you for joining in. I'm excited to get this going. I had several people text me last night asking, were you talking about me? No, I was not talking about anybody I knew. I do know the names of the people now, but they're nobody that I know. Which I thought I made that clear last night, but I was not talking about you. Nobody that I'm friends with, because if I'm friends with you and you would have done that, I would have called you out in person. I wouldn't have used a video to make fun of you. Actually, yes, I would have used a video to make fun of you. What am I talking about? Except I would have used your name in the video. I would have just blatantly said your name because I wouldn't have cared to not hurt your feelings, but make fun of you in a video, because I believe we're good enough friends that it would have been funny and you would have laughed. I believe that. I hope that we're good enough friends that you would have laughed. As far as flowers, a couple of you texted me about flowers and said, hey, I want you to know there's a new local shop in town that you can get flowers at, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I know that. Thank you. But I didn't know that before Valentine's Day, so I wish you would have texted me then, and I wouldn't have, been in the doghouse for not getting Heather flowers for Valentine's Day. But yeah, thanks. Appreciate that. But yes, I do know that now, so I can get her flowers for the next Just Because occasion or whenever, so that, she'll be like, hey, my husband actually got me flowers for once. And didn't just show me a picture on his phone and say, this is what you were supposed to get. Surprise! Anyways. What we're going to talk about today is, it'll be short, promise. I want to tell you about the time I took that Addie and I went to the liquor store. Bet you weren't expecting that one. Alright, so where we're living right now, we have a washer hookup, but we don't have a dryer. I have a dryer, but there's no dryer hookup, okay? Which makes things, difficult. So I wash my clothes here, and then I have to, put them on a basket, and then I have to go to the laundromat to dry them. Well, there's a laundromat, on site, or laundry facilities on site, but there was no change machines. There was nothing. I get in there the very first time, and I'm like, dude, I only have 4 quarters. And obviously I need more than 4 quarters to dry all these clothes. So I'm like, what am I going to do? How am I going to dry all of these clothes that I have? And I'm like, well, I have some ones, but I can't get quarters here. So what am I going to do? So I pack Addie up, and I look around, and I look next door, and what do I see? Lo and behold, there's a liquor store. And it was early, and the liquor store was open, and she and I had walked over to the laundry facility, so we're just we're going to walk over to the liquor store. And I walk in, and, well, Addie's, dressed in, now, mind you, she's dressed in, pink pants, pink shirt, and everything, which I'm not saying boys can't wear pink, okay? I want to make that clear. Heather makes me wear pink shirts for photos all the time, just because she thinks it's funny, I think. But anyways, so Addie's dressed in all pink, okay? And has sparkle shoes on, I think. I don't know. But she's clearly identifiable as a girl. She has super long hair. Not that boys can't have super long hair. But the way she's dressed, if I was going to guess if she was a boy or girl, my first guess would be, hey, that's a little girl. We walk in there, and as soon as we walk in, they immediately start shouting at me. Now, I've never walked into a liquor store before, an actual liquor store before. So I didn't, I mean, I didn't know. I mean, like, I was just wanting some quarters. I mean, that's all I wanted was some quarters, okay? I didn't even have enough money to buy liquor. Um, like, I mean, I literally had like 3 ones on me. I don't even know if that's enough to buy anything in the store. Um, I walk in there and they like everybody in the place who works there starts shouting at me. And I'm like, I can't figure out what they're shouting. So like I just keep walking and then finally it becomes clear. They're like, you can't bring that little boy in here. And I'm like, well, they can't be talking to me because I got a little girl. So I just keep walking. And they're like, stop. And I'm like, what? And they're like, you can't bring that little boy in here. And I'm like, who, Addie? And they're like, yeah, he can't be in here. You have to be 18 or something. I don't know. You have to be something, some age to be inside of there or something. I don't know. And I'm like, oh, okay. I said, I'm just wanting quarters. And they're like, well, you have to go through the drive-through. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, this is kind of awkward. So I turn around and I walk back outside the liquor store. And so Addie and I go out there, and there's like a line of cars in the drive-through. And so as we get in the drive-through, like, we're just kind of standing there. And I'm like, I can only imagine like people going by, like looking at me and my child, and they're like, man, look at that. Look at that poor child. Her dad's like walking her through the liquor store drive-through, like to buy liquor. He doesn't have a car, doesn't have anything, and he's dragging his child out in the cold to go buy liquor first thing in the morning. And like I was dying. And I get up to the window and they said, what do you want? And I was like, I just told you I need some quarters. And they're like, well, you can't have any. I was like, well, why didn't you tell me that in there? You told me to go through the drive-through. And they're like, well, we can't give you quarters. You might go to the video lottery place next door. I was like, well, if you won't let me inside, I know they won't let me inside. I was like, I just need a few quarters. And they're like, well, how many do you need? I said, I just need like $3. And they're like, oh, okay. We thought you needed more than that. And they're like, here, we can give you that. And they gave me $3 in quarters. And I was like, okay. Whew. That was like very, very, like in a very anxious situation, like just going to the liquor store. And I'm like, if that turned up that much anxiety, like I don't know what going to the liquor store is really like for most people, but I said, I don't think I can handle going back to the liquor store. I mean, that was just pretty rough for me. But I do know if I go back to the liquor store, I can't take my little girl. But anyways, so I just wanted to share that with you. So real life for you guys, don't take your little kids to the liquor store, even if you are just getting coins for the laundromat. They will not let them in. You got to go through the drive-through, and even then, don't ask them for more than just a couple dollars worth of quarters, because it gets them all tore up. They'll want you to go to the video lottery place, which still won't let you in. Yeah, that's the moral of the story today. I don't know if that helps any of you guys, but that was just real life for me, and that's how I'm living it right now. And you know, sometimes oh, then I got back to the laundromat. Took far more than a few dollars worth of quarters to dry my clothes, so it didn't work out anyways. So I had to like figure out how to get more quarters. So that day really sucked. But anyways, that was my first time using a laundromat too. Since then, I've become a pro. But I don't want to do your all's laundry, so I don't even want to do my own. All right, that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful day. Keep it real, and above all else, you see somebody in need, see somebody that needs a few quarters, see somebody that just needs some help along the way, help them out. Because understand, you are not far from being in the same position. Promise you that. So help each other. Be somebody else's blessing today.